Damn. What's going on, guys? My name is David Carvajal. I am a photographer and I also own a creative agency called Vanilla Studios. I created this channel just so I can kind of give you guys a behind the scenes glimpse of my day-to-day life. I want to show you guys what goes on behind the scenes on a kind of like a creative's life and show you kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would love to show you guys like the good times, the ones that I'm doing really, really well, and also the ones that I'm doing really, really bad and not booking as much as I want to, because I feel like on social media we see a lot of like when people post the good things, they only like really post their accomplishments, but they don't really post any of their obstacles or any of their own personal failures. And I think it's important to show both sides because in reality, we all grow from our failures and our mistakes. I think it's important for us to keep that in mind whenever we're kind of consuming this content, is that a lot of the time we just consume content of kind of like perfect, happy scenarios. But in reality, owning a creative business isn't that easy, and it isn't like flowers and roses, you know. There's definitely a lot that goes on behind, a lot of like logistics, business stuff, and I kind of just want to show you guys, I want to be very transparent with you guys about everything that goes on. This is August. We're actually at the very end of August. I'm making the first, my very, very first vlog or like diary or whatever. My goal is to check in throughout the month a couple of times, just kind of giving you guys an update, just sitting down and doing these like visual diaries and just showing you guys some cool like B-roll and some cool footage I've taken throughout the week, showing you guys what I did and some of the stuff. This is a pretty legit setup, not gonna lie. I hope you guys are enjoying the complete mess that's right behind me. But this is my workstation, you know? I feel like workstations can be very messy. You know, they can get very messy and there's nothing wrong with that. But, so what date is it today? The 6th? So today is September 6th. The last time I sat down and talked was like right before September started, and I just yapped. It's just a yap session. All right, so what am I gonna talk about today? I never plan these out. I literally just sit down and I just start talking about whatever comes to mind. And I mean, that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So I went to a meetup. I like going to meetups. I know some photographers might not really like it because it's a weird vibe, but I always like going to meetups because I like connecting with other local photographers and other local creatives. The meetup was at Create Coffee. It's a coffee shop created by a photographer. His name is Quay. I think his Instagram is like around Q or hold on. I'll just drop it here. This is his Instagram. And he actually opened up a coffee shop a few years ago called Create with a Q. Create Coffee and Studio. So the concept is pretty neat because it's a coffee shop and it's also a photography studio as well, all in one. You're able to drink your Americano and then pull up to the studio and get some shots of your client. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat concept. He opened up a second location really close by, also in Orlando. The second location doesn't have the studio like in it. It's just mainly like a really nice coffee shop. Has a super dope vibe. If you guys are ever down like in Orlando, definitely check out Create. Him and some other photographers hosted a meetup at his new coffee shop location, and I got to connect with some cool people, and those are always fun. I actually included some footage of that on the B-roll that I took. So today I'm getting ready for a shoot tomorrow. I'm gonna be working with this Juniper. What happened? You wanna be in a video? Come here. All right, everyone, meet Juniper. Juniper, say hi. There you go. So today I'm getting ready for a for a photo shoot tomorrow. I'm gonna be working with this dental office like 2 hours away, kind of going on the way to Miami. I'm planning on, so it's a couple of things actually. It's a pretty big shoot. We're gonna be doing headshots of all of the staff. We're gonna be shooting interiors and exteriors of the office. And then we're also gonna be shooting some photos of the main doctor for like some kind of publication. So just one of those like gigs that they just want to get everything out of the way all at once. And then on Sunday, we're gonna go back on Sunday to go and get some videos of the interior of the actual dental office as well. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get some footage of that. I'm gonna have Stephanie come with me. So I'm gonna bring my little camcorder. I'm just gonna ask her to take some BTS of me shooting some footage for the client. Next week we're going to be going to Costa Rica. This week and next week I have a couple of shoots lined up. So the first one's that corporate shoot I was telling you about. So I have another shoot coming up next week, and this shoot is for an accounting firm. And it's gonna be very similar to the dental office where they want some headshots, they want some lifestyle images of the staff, like the staff that works at that accounting firm. And they also want some like interior and exterior shots of like the office, the waiting room, and all of that. And they also want like some drone footage too. I mean, honestly, like I never thought I was gonna like doing corporate stuff, but I feel like corporate photography is kind of lit. Like that's something that a lot of photographers don't talk about, is like they always talk about, oh yeah, I did this super cool editorial shoot. And no, like corporate shoots are kind of lit, you know, and they also pay very well. It's like they pay very well, the clients have the budget, so it's like you can charge them your regular rate without having to ask for a discount, and they're willing to like do it because they have the budget to do it. But yeah, we're just getting ready. We're probably gonna look for some luggages. I want to find a luggage that fits my stance and also fits like a bunch of other stuff. Kind of working on finding that balance of, you know, luggages. But yeah, that's my little video diary for the day. And here we go on to the next. So today is September 13th, lucky Friday the 13th. I'm actually gonna be leaving to Costa Rica tomorrow. So let's get this done. I already packed all of my clothes. I just haven't had a chance to pack my gear because I had a couple of shoots right before the trip. So here we go. So I honestly can't decide if I wanna bring my Sony a7 IV or if I wanna bring my Sony a6300. I've been shooting a lot with my Sony a7 IV, like that's my main camera. I've been thinking that if I bring the Sony a6300, it's a little bit more compact, it's not as heavy, and it's not as much as a liability either. So I've always made it work with that camera. It's a great camera, to be honest. I've been pairing the Sony a6300 with the 18-135. The only thing is that when I film my vlogs, I've been filming them on my a7 IV, and I don't want to like not film it on that because I like the little flip screen. So I don't know. Decisions. I'm probably just gonna start with like my lights and stuff, and then I'll make that decision when I get there. Number one, I have my AD200 Pro. Great flash. It is my most versatile flash that I own. So I've been using the Godox X Pro S for like to communicate with the whole like system, the lighting system. We got the Rokinon 12mm wide angle lens. This lens is great for taking real estate photography. I'm bringing that bad boy. Gotta go with a Pro Optics cleaning kit as well. I take this thing everywhere. And then I got my SD card holder. Honestly, I might just take my Sony a7 IV, but I'm gonna take a crop sensor lens. Instead of taking my expensive 24-70, although it's super sharp, I love it. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to take a 18-135mm crop sensor lens. So in this way, I get kind of like a good range for all sorts of jobs or whatever. So, and the quality is pretty good too on the crop sensor lens. Like I've never had any issues with how the photos come out on that lens. If I put it in, yep. I knew it. I actually have two. Don't ask me how I ended up with two of these, but just know I have two 18-135 lenses. So this way I get to use my awesome Sony a7 IV for when I want to do some like vlogs when I'm in Costa Rica. Oh, can't forget my Sony camcorder too. This thing has been like super dope. So I've been taking this one everywhere. The batteries for the Sony a7 IV are unmatched. This new battery system that Sony has going on is crazy good. I can probably go 2 shoots with 1 battery, which I freaking love that. You know, like that's such a long battery life with these. For those who buy the Sony camera, the a7 IV, if you don't want to spend all the money on buying like the Sony, like the official Sony batteries, I've been using Wasabi Power for years now, and they've been very, very reliable batteries. And what I like too is that they sell like a kit where it's the battery, and it also comes with like a battery charger where you can charge two batteries at the same time. My all-time favorite things to take when I travel is this little multi-port charging hub that I bought when I worked at AT&T. You can put 3 USB-C cables on it and then 1 regular USB-A on here. So I always take this because I always have like a ton of stuff to like charge and stuff. It makes my life 100 times easier too. But I'm gonna finish packing, and I'll kind of show you guys like what I bring in, all kind of like the final product and what I decided to do. Baby, can you do me a big favor real quick? Can you stand in front of the camera for me? I just want to test out the lighting. All right, so today is Wednesday, September 18th, and we have officially made it to Costa Rica. So right now we're staying in Guanacaste. This is pretty close to like Tamarindo, like all the beaches and stuff. And right now we're staying in Stephanie's apartment. It's very hot and humid, and there isn't really AC in too many places, and it always takes me like 2 or 3 days to get used to. But once I get used to it, like I don't mind it. I feel like I just sweat the whole day, you know? I think the views and like the food makes it worth it, 100%. So we made it to San Jose on the 14th. Right after that, we stayed in San Jose, which is like the main area. We stayed there for like about 2 days, 1 night, and we celebrated the Costa Rican Independence Day. They had these cool parades going on, and it was all the local schools just kind of get together and they have their bands play, and it was actually a lot of fun. Like I really enjoyed doing that. And then after that, we made it up north to Guanacaste, which Guanacaste is a little bit closer to Nicaragua. And this is where all the beaches, there's Tamarindo, there's a bunch of forest stuff over here. So it's really nice. And we actually just got done doing some groceries, and we got like a bunch of fruit, some pasta, some meat, some stuff like that. But what I'm trying to accomplish in Costa Rica is that I'm trying to build like a clientele here. Especially this area, there aren't really too many creatives around here. So one thing that I believe in is at least trying something once, or just trying something that I kind of believe in and just doing it until it ends up working. So I hope you guys enjoy that. What's up, guys? So I am back in Florida. There is maybe like a 2-week delay in making this very last part. I was supposed to end this project at the end of September and then release it on the first week of October. And we're already on October 11th, and I just had the opportunity to like really sit down, think about what I want to talk about, and just finish off this very first vlog that I've been wanting to release now. Just to catch you up all the way up until the end of September. The last time I talked to you was right as I got to Costa Rica. Now I want to talk about kind of like that very last half of that trip. The trip was primarily to see if I can kind of start networking and finding and connecting with some people in Costa Rica. But a huge reason why it didn't work out how I wanted to is because of myself. And I take full responsibility for not really going out and pitching and cold emailing and stuff like that. I only really reached out to a few restaurants and hotels that I had connected with in the past, but I didn't really take the time to reach out to anyone new. So I feel like partially it's my fault that it didn't really work out how I wanted to, but it ended up working out because it gave me time to catch up with my work. It also gave me time to coordinate a bunch of projects that were kind of like in the pipeline for October. And I also got a nice vacation out of it too. So that second week of October, my cousin and my aunt came from Colombia, and they went and stayed with us at the Airbnb. We got to go to a bunch of different beaches. We went to thermal waters, and we just had a really good time the very last week of September. So it was fun, and you can see back in like that B-roll, you can see in the B-roll footage, I pretty much just lined it up by like, I kind of coordinated by the days. So like if you see a different beach, that's because we went to a different beach the next day. We just had an amazing time, and I'm very thankful that I got to take this trip. And it didn't work out with my original intention was to start looking for work over there, but it's just one of those things that I take it as like still worked out because I had a nice time and I still was able to kind of sit down and coordinate everything for this month. So one thing that I want to talk about, and I feel like this subject doesn't really get talked about, and that's when to know when to cut off a relationship when it's right, when to cut off a relationship with a client. I want to talk about this. I want to be very general. I had to do the same exact thing for the very first time ever in my business. I had to cut a relationship with a client because it was getting to a point where it was affecting my business. It was also affecting my own mental health, just from how I think that every entrepreneur, every creative entrepreneur should trust their gut. If there's a lot of red flags presented to you before the project, I'd say the best thing you can do is just don't do the project. I highly suggest that you just follow your gut, because 10 out of 10 times you're right. I want you guys to learn from my mistake, which was that I didn't follow my gut. I went through with the project, and the project didn't end up being as good as I wanted it to be. There's a lot of challenges presented on the day of the project, and even afterwards I didn't follow my gut because the client wanted to work again, and that was a whole separate ordeal where I was having to move things around. The client was doing very last minute communications and adjustments to the pricing, and it just became a huge issue for my business and for myself, that it got to the point where I had to just tell him like, look, I can't work with you anymore. There's just too many challenges being presented. There's too many issues. There's too many things being done last minute that aren't really good for my business at this moment or ever. But anyways, now to talk about something good, something fun that's going to be coming up here in Orlando. If you are a fashion designer, photographer, videographer, model agent, fashion stylist, hair and makeup artist, fashion influencer, I'm going to be hosting our first ever fashion mixer event, and I just want to get people together. I want people to mingle. I want people to meet people. I want people to set up collaborations. I just want to kind of create the event, and then I just want people to just use that and benefit and create collaborations and create relationships that could land you a deal, relationships that could land you a spot or a placement in a modeling agency. Here are some of the details of the event. I'm also going to leave it down in the description for those who are in Orlando or those who are even willing to travel to here to Central Florida. Here are the details of the event. It's going to be on November 2nd from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. It's going to be in my friend's studio. It's the Sanford Photo Studio. I know I said Orlando a lot, but really it's in Sanford. With Sanford, for those who don't know, it's like a little city, probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes from downtown Orlando. So I'm calling out to everyone to come and join us. There's going to be some music, there's going to be some food, there's going to be some refreshments, and I just think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for everyone. There is a entry fee of $7. When you RSVP, you can make that entry fee on the actual RSVP, and that's going to just help cover like the cost for the studio. That's going to help cover food, refreshments. It's going to help cover everything that we need to make sure that the event is a vibe, you know. So first of its kind, I just really want to see how this comes out, and if it's good, I'm going to continue hosting these events and just making sure that you know, I just step it up every single time. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to thank everyone who has pretty much watched this whole video. I just want to just say that I'm really excited for this project. I'm really excited to kind of hold myself accountable to recording, to taking B-roll, to capturing everything when it's happening, just having everything I need at all times to be able to make sure I give you guys the best video every single time. But yeah, this is the end of my September vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna get started on the next one for October, which I also have a couple of very fun things coming out, so be on the lookout for that, guys. Peace.